On November 13, 2018, surveillance cameras rolled inside the Broward Sheriff's Office main jail. The cameras recorded confessed school shooter Nicholas Cruz pacing around some tables. Just before 6 p.m., Cruz became animated, talking to BSO Detention Sergeant Raymond Beltran. Apparently, Beltran complained about Cruz dragging his sandals. Cruz gave him the finger, then rushed him and started a fight. Investigators say Cruz took the sergeant's stun gun, but no one was hit by it. The fight lasted more than 45 seconds. Beltran eventually gained the upper hand and put Cruz in cuffs. He led Cruz away. Court documents shed more light on what led to Cruz's actions. In the days after the attack, court records show Cruz's public defender wrote an email to BSO saying, "I have been reflecting on how this situation could have been different had you or the BSO taken action when I brought to your attention about Sergeant Beltran supervising Mr. Cruz." The public defender said a month earlier she alerted BSO about growing friction between Cruz and the detention sergeant. The public defender asked if BSO could limit the interaction between Cruz and Beltran. But BSO says there was no formal allegation of any policy violation by Sergeant Beltran, and BSO's director of the detention department responded forcefully to Cruz's lawyer. Court documents show he wrote, "Inmates housed in Broward County Sheriff's Office Department of Detention Custody do not get afforded the opportunity to select the staff that supervises them. I will not allow any inmate in our custody the opportunity to try and manipulate who supervises them and when they do so." BSO said blame for the attack centered on one person. It could have been avoided if inmate Nicholas Cruz did not choose to violently attack a sworn deputy sheriff. That sergeant no longer has contact with inmates at the moment. He was placed on administrative assignment following a DUI arrest last March in Washington state. Sources tell CBS 4 News he was in that area to transport a prisoner back to Broward. The video from the jail attack highlights another issue. The video shows that it took about 2 minutes for other detention deputies to arrive at the scene of the attack. A law enforcement source told CBS 4 News that typically that response time would be about 20 to 30 seconds, and that this case was an exception, not the rule.
Ladies and gentlemen, that video that you saw was the actual attack that Nicholas Cruz did on a CO. And this was shortly after the Parkland shooting when he was in jail. Well, he made a court appearance to plead guilty. And while he was in court, he broke down and sobbed and boo-hooed and cried. This is what these guys do. You know, if you remember, he was on live streams talking about killing people and he hated black people and he hated this and hated that. You know, a lot of tough talk. And remember, there were several people on the live stream with him, and they said, "Ah, I didn't think he was serious." Yeah, I bet you if it was a black guy saying those same things, you would have thought it was serious. The hell out of here. So, ladies and gentlemen, that shooting and that hearing is about to come up. So this dude is in a world of trouble. You attacked a CO and you killed 17 people. Yeah, he ain't gonna never see the light of day outside of that prison. So he is set to plead guilty to the Parkland school shooting. Nicholas will plead guilty to murdering 17 people at the Parkland school shooting massacre 3 years ago. And this is according to his attorney. The 23-year-old will change his plea during a scheduled court hearing in Florida next Wednesday. His attorney told Circuit Judge Elizabeth Scherer during a brief hearing on Friday that Cruz will plead guilty to 17 counts of first-degree murder. And we know the shooting was in 2018. The plea comes with no conditions, according to his attorney, which means Cruz will be fighting against the death penalty and hope for life without parole, which he doesn't deserve. Took 17 lives, and you think your life, you should be living and breathing when those 17 people, and these people didn't do a thing to him. He just went in that school and randomly shot up a bunch of people. Okay. His decision to change his plea was unexpected, with preparations already underway to begin jury selection within the next few months. So I would imagine his case will come up in 2022. Cruz was set to, to stand trial for attacking the security guard. His trial had already been delayed due to, the pandemic and arguments over what evidence and testimony could be presented. So all of this stuff is coming up at once, for him, the shooting and the attack on the guard. Cruz and his attorneys had previously offered to plead guilty in a bid to avoid the death penalty, but the deal was repeatedly rejected by prosecutors. His decision means he can avoid trial and go right to the sentencing phase. It comes after Cruz has a history of, here we go, mental health issues. There's a lot of people in this world walking around with mental health issues, and they didn't kill 17 people or attack a CO. Mental health doesn't make you violent. It doesn't. But y'all try to make it seem that way because it's used to get folks out of crimes they committed. And this should never have been allowed to be used in this country. But, when you got the system all rigged up, I guess you can do anything you want, right? It comes after Cruz, who has a history of mental health issues, cried during a court hearing last week after colored pencils and a Pokemon coloring book was taken from him. He cried because colored pencils and a Pokemon coloring book was taken away from him. Okay. I still don't feel bad for this dude. Even if that did happen, I don't feel bad for him. He took 17 lives. Okay. Even people with mental health issues know right from wrong. They do. They know right from wrong. Okay. So his attorney told the circuit judge, I guess they're trying to do everything they can to keep him alive. I guess that's what the goal that his attorney is arguing. Mm-mm-mm. Cruz was 19 at the time when he stormed the high school in February 2018, killing 14 students and 3 staff members, injuring 17 others. He had been expelled from that same high school the year before the shooting rampage and was obsessed with guns. Yes, and he did a couple of videos talking about his obsession with guns and everything, because I remember seeing those clippings back when he did the shooting. But ladies and gentlemen, look, you know, it's amazing how they'll keep a mass killer alive, but they will gun down and kill an unarmed black man that's just walking or driving along minding their own business. But this dude killed 17. Just think about that. He killed 17 people and they took him in unscratched. This is what we complain about, and our complaint is legitimate. The petty excuses that you give for mental health, that's not legitimate at all. Please leave your comment and subscribe. Don't forget to hit on the notification bell, and I'll see you on the next video. Peace, family.